Hello and welcome to video 5 for the festival project. So just to recap, so far in our project we have researched other festivals, we have done some planning for your own festival, we've looked at logos and designed a logo for your festival, we then spent some time looking at letters and writing 2 or 3 letters to different people, and now we're going to start looking at the advertising and the marketing phase of our project. So just to start, can you make sure you're on Google Classroom? Can you make sure you're at the festival project? And you should see it looking something like this, with again your work over here, with your booklet and any other work you've done there. You've got a couple of YouTube videos that link back to what we've done before. This is the 5th video, and you've got the presentation that I'll be giving you. So if you could pause what you're doing and make sure you're there for me, please. Right, now you've got that there, I want to talk you through a bit of the presentation that we're going to be learning today and show you what tasks that you're going to be doing. Again, this video is probably 2 or 3 weeks worth of work, so do pause it, do get the work done when you need to do it. So what we're going to be looking at is we are going to be looking at marketing or advertising your business and looking at, or your festival even, and looking at what we need to do for that. So the objectives that we're going to look at: one, we're going to understand what we call the marketing mix, which is a business studies term, but we'll look at it in a little bit more detail. You're going to apply that idea to your festival, to the festival you've created. We're going to look at different advertising methods or promotion methods, and then you're going to create some different adverts for your festival. So, firstly, what is marketing? Well, this is what I typed it into Google, and this is what came up. It's the action or the business of promoting and selling products or services, including market research and advertising. So, what does that mean, and how can we apply it to the festival? Basically, marketing is to do with the advertising, is to do with selling your product, making sure people will buy what you are selling them. So informing them about it, letting them know what about it, giving them the prices, the information about the product, and making them really want it. So how does it apply to the festival? Well, we're going to advertise it. We might make posters, we might do radio adverts, but we're going to make sure people know and hear about your festival. We might put promotions on. So you might do a 2-for-1 ticket. You might do cheaper tickets for kids. You might do cheaper tickets if they buy them in advance. So sort of those promotions. And we're going to think at least a little bit about where it is advertised, the place. Now, this is called the marketing mix, right? And it's a business studies term, right? But it basically refers to how a company, how something promotes its brand, its product in the market. So how are you going to promote your festival? How are you going to promote your product in the festival market? And the marketing mix has these things called the 4Ps, right? There's promotion, there's product, there's price, and there's place, right? And they all link to what you do. So promotion is about the actual advertising you're doing, advertising your product, making people want to buy it, right? Maybe putting letters through doors, that kind of thing. The product is about what you are selling. So your unique selling point. What is unique about your festival? Right? What are the features about your festival? The bands that are going to be playing there, the quality. How do you know your festival is going to be better than anything else? The price, well, that's to do with how much it's going to cost. What price are you going for? Are you going for a cheap festival or an expensive festival? Are you going to have different strategies for different things? Are you going to offer buy 4 tickets, get 1 free? Those kind of things. And place is about where you sell your product, and where you advertise it. So where are you going to be selling your product? Are you going to be selling it online? Are you going to be selling it from shops? Are you going to be doing it over the phone? Whatever. And where are you going to be advertising this product? So where will your adverts go? So your first task in this part of the project is to research the marketing mix in a little bit more detail and to explain it in a table in your booklet. And we're going to link it to your festival. So again, right, if we go to your festival project, if we open up your booklet, it should look something like this, right? We need topic 4, advertising. That's what we're doing first, right? And we're looking at the marketing mix. So there's another YouTube video here that you can watch that explains marketing mix to you, and there's a bite-sized link that might give you a bit more information. And what I want you to do, please, is to try and link the marketing mix to the festival. So for price, it could be you'll make sure the price of your festival is suitable for my audience of families. So I'll have a family ticket priced at £180, or you can buy adult tickets for £80 and child ones for £50. So you can see there you're thinking about the price. If you can pause the video while you get this work done for me. Right, so we've looked at the marketing mix, so we looked at how that applies to your business. We're now going to focus on one part of it. We're going to focus on the advertising promotion part of it. And we're going to think about different ways of advertising. So, what are the different ways that you can advertise products? I've thought of 5 here very quickly: internet, TV, radio, newspapers, magazines, but there are plenty of others. You can put posters on, you can put flyers through people's doors, those kind of things, right? But there are good points and bad points about each one. So, for example, for TV, it costs a lot of money to make a TV advert, right? It has to be really professional. However, you reach a big audience. There's lots of people who watch TV. You could be reaching 2, 3, 4, 5 million people at once, especially if you advertise it or put the advert on when a popular program is on. Right, so so you think about the advantages and disadvantages, and which ones could we actually use for the festival? So TV might be really good, but we probably wouldn't use it because it will cost a lot of money, and it might not be where people want to find information out about festivals. So what I want you to do, right, is to do a little bit of research again, but complete the grid in your booklet on different techniques. So if I go to the grid booklet again, I've done an example here. I've done posters as a method. I've given you some advantages and disadvantages for them. You might think of more. And there's some space here to put your own ideas as well for different methods of advertising. Now, what you might want to do is add more rows in. To add more rows, if you right click and put insert row below, you can put more rows in there, so you're coming up with more ideas of how to advertise. Again, you can pause the video while you're completing that task. Okay, so you've thought about different ways of advertising. The third thing that we're going to do in this part of the project is we're going to analyse different adverts that already exist. And we're going to focus on posters first of all. And hopefully you're going to then create your own poster for your festival. Now, when we're analysing posters, right, we're going to think about what makes a good poster. Now, I think there are 5 things, right, that we can base it around. The use of colour and images, use of text, relevant information, making it appeal to the audience, and something that grabs your attention. So, if you look at the poster we've got here from the Rise Festival, right, you can see here, if I go back one, sorry, right, that colour. Well, it's got an image on, so it's got a cartoony image, right, that goes over people at a festival with clouds and hot air balloons. But in terms of colour, the writing's black or red, and there's a little bit of yellow. That's basically the main colour scheme, apart from the actual pictures. Right, so they stick to two or three different colours. Use of text. Well, you've got a big title here that grabs your attention, tells you where it is. Right, the big names, Liam Gallagher, Stereophonics, Bastille, are really highlighted for you to see, so it grabs your attention straight away. And other bits and slightly smaller for some of the different artists and so on. Right, at the bottom, it's got the advertising, so Carlsberg down there. Does it have relevant information? I'd say it does. Right, it's got how much tickets cost here for weekend and for day tickets. It's got where the festival is. It's got who's going to play there, the dates of it, and so on. It grabs your attention, right? I see Liam Gallagher. You see the red writing. It grabs your attention, and I think it would appeal to the audience. So I've kind of analysed that one a bit for you. What I want you to do is in your booklet again. There are 5 or 6 different posters. If I just scroll down here, you can see the first one here, the Rise Festival one. And there are different ones from different music festivals. There's 3 there. Again, if you want to find some of your own, if you right click, you can insert another row and you can find some of your own posters that you want to analyse as well. So again, think about what we just said. Think about what makes a good poster, use of colour, right? Think about the marketing mix. Can you see the 4 different P's in there? The promotion, the price, the place, and the product. So are they in there as well, grabbing your attention? Again, can you pause the video while you complete this task? Right, the final part of the advertising and marketing side is actually creating a couple of. This is where you're going to spend quite a lot of time. Right, the first one, right, I want you to create a poster advertising your festival. Now, you could do this 2 ways. One, you could do it by hand. You can get a piece of A4 paper, A3 paper, you can get some magazines, you can get colour pencils, those sort of things, and you can create a big poster by hand. You can take a picture of it and hand in the image on Google Classroom. Alternatively, you could use Publisher or Google Docs or any other suitable software to create the poster. Right? Remember to think about what makes a good advert. Use the examples above to help. So if I go back to your Google Classroom here, if you create your own poster and take a picture of it, right? If you're going to add or create, you can add a file, so you can link to the picture, Alternatively, you could do it on Google Docs, so you can create a new docs there, do it. If you did it on Publisher on your computer at home, again, you could add a file and it would upload it onto here for me. Right? So that's the first task. The second task, right, is another form of advertising. Right? So once you've got a poster done, what I want you to do, could you think of another form of advertising you could do? I've put 3 examples here that you could do, but again, think about, be creative, let your imagination run loose. You could do an animation, right? So might be an animation that you could put on at the beginning of on a website or on a Facebook page or something like that. There is some software here you could use. So have a look at app.animaker.com. Have a look, go at learning a new bit of software. See if you can do that. You could create a comic strip, right? You can use something called Pixton.com and sign up with your Nunthorpe Google account. Again, this could be festival. This could be put into a magazine or a newspaper to advertise the festival, or maybe even as just a certain part of it. You could, if you wanted to, create a radio advert, write a script for an advert, and then if you wanted to, you could record it on your phone or on your computer and hand that in. Or is there something else you could do? Is there another form of advertising that you think you could do? You can make tickets for it, anything like that. So again, once you've finished your different types of advertising, can you upload them onto Google Classroom for me and hand it in? And the final thing then to do is the last part of the self-assessment. So again, on Google Classroom, once you've done all your advertising, there's a self-assessment grid here. So think about the work you've done on letters and advertising, what's gone well, what improvements could you make. So you assess what you've done, and then if you hand it in, your teacher will then assess what you've done on the project so far and give you some feedback and a grade and what you could do to improve both your letters and your posters. So, thank you very much for listening. I hope you've enjoyed the advertising part of the project, and let's see what you can come up with.